Hello, everyone. Again, this is Antonio, and I'm coming to you with another exciting video. First of all, for those that don't know me and don't know anything about this channel, on this channel, we speak about stock, cryptocurrency, personal and business credit. In this video, what we want to talk about, and I know a lot of us, before we even get there, I know you see the title or the thumbnail. We want to talk about the fleet of the Cenntro'S fleet because it's been a lot of talk about how the stock has performed, and as we know, we're going to get into some of the back end conversations about this, about the stock itself. The stock right now is trading very, very low. I know it's after hours. And and here's the thing: it's after hours, but I mean, in the stock market, it's after hours. But we want to know, why is this stock trading so low? What's wrong with the PR? The PR has been pretty bad as of late when it comes down to this merger between Naked and Cenntro. The stock right now, it seems like the hedges and shares are winning because they are definitely in the forefront when it comes down to this stock. All right, how you doing, Lawrence? Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Absolutely. None of us know what's going on when it comes down to the stock. I found something interesting on Robinhood too about the PR. Okay. The article it links to is not correct. Okay, so where can we find this article so we can read it here? Can you place the link in the or the title? If you place the title of the article, then I can read information about the article. Because in this video, I want to talk about some of the fleet. It links to Alibaba. Okay, so give me a minute. Let's talk about you say Robinhood and okay, so first of all, what is it talking about? What is the article about? So I can do a quick research about this article, because the only article I see is from Yahoo. And if you give me the title of the article, then I can definitely read it, because this can be something that the community wants to know about. We want to talk about this article, and we want to talk about some of Cenntro'S fleet, because right now a lot of us feel like we in the trash can. We waited. We've been in this stock for quite some time when there was a lingerie and apparel business. We waited till this stock perform. Reddick helped push this stock to the highest heights. But right now, that's the title of the stock. I found something interesting on Robinhood too about the PR. That's the title in Robinhood. I found something. Okay, so let's see if we can find some PR on Cenntro Robinhood. Let's see if we can find this. Because right now it's not really good right now. Okay. Robinhood. Okay, so I don't see the article. That's the title on Robinhood if you have copy, and if you copy and paste that. All right, so let me go on Robinhood itself, and let's see. Give me a minute. Let me go on Robinhood itself and see if we can find some of these articles. All right, so let's do a search for naked. Because what I want to know is, are the hedgies shorting this stock at all together? Here we go. All right. All right. So let me go and share my screen. I found that article. Let's share the screen and let's see what Lawrence provided everyone. All right, let's go ahead and do that. All right. So right now, as we see, Robinhood, Naked is trading below. They're trading below the what it was at 48 cents. Right now, this is probably like 34, 38 cents right now. It's an absolutely terrible. On Friday, which was yesterday, it opened at 544. I'm at 554. The high was $5.72. Right now, after hours, it's at $5.35. It's even down worse than it was before. So let's find out what's going on with this. And then we're going to talk about the fleet, some of the fleet at the end of the video. But U.S. shares, listed shares of Alibaba, JD.com slip after huge rally in Chinese tech stocks. Let's see if this is what this is talking about. I don't want to read anything if it don't have anything to do with the article. Okay. Okay, so that's not what it's going. It's not really reading about. Let's see. Okay, it's not reading about anything that we want to know, but right here, for anybody that don't know, and this article is from the 31st, which is yesterday, and it reads: Naked Brand Group Limited and privately held Cenntro Automotive Group have announced that they have completed the previously announced acquisition of the outstanding capital stock of three entities comprising Cenntro Automotive Group, which acquisition was approved by Naked shareholders at an extraordinary general meeting on December 21st, 2021, and NASDAQ's listing qualifications department on December 30th, 2021. In connection with the connection of the acquisition, the company changed its name to Cenntro Group Limited. CAG's management team, including Chairman and Chief Executive Officer Peter Wang, will lead the combined company. Naked's former Chairman and Chief Executive Officer Justin Davis Rice and non-executive director Simon Tripp will remain on board of the combined company. In connection with the closing, the company has divested its FOH online business. All right, so people that don't understand what I'm saying is the clothing part of the business. And let's see if we got any questions. Okay, you're reading it now, but in Robinhood it doesn't. Okay, so you're reading it now. All right, so as of the close of transaction, the combined company has its excess of $250 million in cash fund organic growth through and to provide the working capital to support a substantial backlog and less than $10 million in liabilities. We believe that today's milestone, combined with our unique commercial EV technology, will help us accelerate the delivery of our commercial electric vehicles and take a significant share of the approximately 2.1 billion EV sales forecast 2023, said Peter Wang, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the company. Since 2013, Cenntro has produced and delivered over its 4,000 commercial electric vehicles. I know it says 3,600, but on their website it says it's 4,000. We expect a significant growth over the next 5 years. Today's transaction provides us with the working capital necessary to support our substantial backlog and to finance our plans to scale production in 2022 through new facilities in Jacksonville, Florida, and Düsseldorf, Germany. We expect our recently announced US-based 100,000 square foot full capacity assembly facility in Jacksonville, Florida, to provide a strong foundation for our long-term growth. Not only do we design and produce unique commercial EV technology, but Cenntro has proven that it's been able to produce and deliver a strong number of commercial electric vehicles that are being used by leading consumer companies. In December 2021, we produced over 600 of our newly launched Logistar 200 model, or LS200, a light urban delivery vehicle purpose built to navigate European streets. our highest volume in a single month to date. So we're not going to read all of that. I mean, what we want to do is we want to find out is what's the problem with the PR. Yes, Yahoo has released a statement, NASDAQ has released a statement, but we want to talk briefly what's going on with the PR and why a lot of these stocks are not performing like we wanted to perform. As you can see right here, let's look at some of the fleet to some of the cars that we have invested in so we can get a good idea of what's going on with the fleet itself. All right. So right now, when we think about it, we have made investments in this company, but do we have a greater understanding of the fleet that we have invested in? When you invest in a company, you become an owner of the company. And we want to know, do you have an understanding what this is all about, right? So let's get into it. Let's dive into that quickly so we can go to the next part of the next part of this broadcast today. So I created a, PowerPoint where we're going to discuss quickly some of the fleet that will be coming up on the streets in your neighborhood. So right now, what you're looking at is the Metro. The Metro is a unique street legal light electric commercial vehicle designed for urban scenarios such as intracity, delivery, and similar services. Cenntro started trial production of Metro in 2017 and has produced more than 3,300 so far. Currently, Metro is mostly sold in Europe, the United States, Japan, Korea, Singapore, and Israel. All right. Next, this is the Logistar 400. This probably would be like their biggest car in the fleet or vehicle in the fleet. This is an EV. The Logistar 400 is a class 4 truck designed primarily for urban delivery and freight, covering two significant markets, including city, delivery fleet, and upfitters. Logistar 400 is ideal for the various demands of today's challenging delivery market. Logistar 400 can be used by walking carriers or as cab over Ford trucks for box delivery and cutaway delivery vans. This is the Neighbor 200. The Neighbor 200 is a competitively priced multi-purpose L7E electric truck for neighborhood deliveries and similar services designed for the network density of narrow European streets. The two Neighbor 200 applications include cargo box deliveries and package pickups. I think these fleets are so far so good. Now, this is the Logistar 200. This is the 600 and I think 28 or 48 cars that was delivered recently. The Logistar 200 is a multi-purpose light electric commercial vehicle customized for transporting light goods in urban areas. Logistar 200 has a 1-ton payload and a cargo space for 247 cubic feet when using a cargo box. Logistar 200 can be used in three ways: cab and Cenntro chassis only, as well as cargo box and van. All adopt the same Cenntro chassis and front cab cockpit. This is the ORV. The hardworking ORV is capable of meeting the challenges of commercial, ranch, and recreational use. This durable UTV can be used by households, campuses, and most municipal parks, hotels, and resorts. This vehicle has the capabilities for the lengthy and heavy work demands for farms and ranches. This is the Cenntro chassis. This will be on display next week in Vegas. The Cenntro chassis is the future of commercial autonomous driving applications. Remember that Cenntro has over 500, I believe they got between 238 or 500 patents. One of the patents that they have is autonomous driving applications. The apps can be downloaded to the Cenntro chassis for different vertical uses and can enable a reoccurring revenue model for Cenntro. Example applications include autonomous driving for city delivery, city sanitation, city surveillance, mobile vending, auto transportation, and rescue services. And this is the chip, the advanced system on chip. Advanced system on chip fully digitized the driving control system powered by chips developed by owned by Cenntro. Cenntro fully digitizes the driving control system through proprietary technology that integrates software, hardware, and system on a chip. So let's see if we got any comments here. Right here, let's see. Stephen R. say research Peter Wayne's background. He could become a scam artist. He his precisions between 2022 and 2023 jump to an amount that doesn't seem possible. I own a lot of naked shares, but think I'm going to sell. Okay, I think he can con JDR. Just be careful. Do some research on Peter Wayne. See all his past. It's not all good. I thought we were all going to do well, but maybe not. Okay, Stephen, how many shares do you have of Naked, if you don't mind sharing? And also, when you say do some research on Peter Wayne, one thing you got to understand is maybe he is dubious, but one thing you're not going to do is you're not going to get over on NASDAQ. One reason why this merger has been approved, what we're doing now is we're looking for the auditor. The auditor is going to tell us the story of this merger. You cannot get around the auditor when you are talking about $1 billion merger. That's number one, Stephen. Number two, they have 2 days. Once the merger is intact, they have until Tuesday of this upcoming week to provide the shareholders with the status of the merger. They have technically 2 more days. Just say the fully merger was completed on yesterday, December 31st. The auditor has into January. What is the what is that? The 4th. I believe that's the 4th to provide us with the information. So yeah, Peter Wayne may be a con artist. You can look at it however you want to, but they have 2 days after the merger. This was done and it came away without an audit. No, that's not true. NASDAQ has been quiet. They only provided a statement, and that statement came back and said that the merger is complete. The merger and the audit does not happen the same day. The auditor is a private institution. I'm holding short term, but all I'm saying is be careful. Absolutely. You want to be careful with any company, any stock. And I'm not discrediting your feedback. You may be telling the community something that's important, but one thing you got to understand is I'm about to break something down to you right here. And this is what this article is going to tell you a lot more than let's give a breakdown right here. Okay. All right. So as soon as the merger with Cenntro becomes official, shares will be created and distributed to current Cenntro stakeholders. Naked Brand Group acquired approximately 30% of ownership of the new Cenntro Electric Group in the merger. We are that 30%, Stephen and Lawrence, and whoever else that's listening. We are the 30%. The other 70% of those shares would be created to Cenntro. So in other words, 68 million breaks down to 30, which equals to 2,266,666.67, which equals to 1% of new total of shares of outstanding 2,266,666.67 times 70 equals 158 1,666,666.67. Let me tell you what that means. This means that 70% of the new total of shares outstanding equals to be split up amongst the pre-merger owners of Cenntro equity. And this is where this becomes significant. When you take this number plus this number, this equals to 226,666,666.67. However, the 70%, and you can research this yourself, awarded to the current Cenntro ownership will be issued as restricted stock units, such that they will be not tradable shares for 180 days following the close of the merger. So you can say, look at Peter Wing all you want to, which may be true, but the stocks that Peter Wing and the Cenntro privately traded part of the company, their shares will be locked up for 180 days. They cannot trade their own shares. The 30% of the shares that you and I own, Stephen, are the shares that can be traded or purchased. Their shares will be locked up and cannot be traded. These are facts. Look it up on your own. So the tradable float would be 68 million shares that current naked owners hold. When determining the share price, however, the 226,666,666 number must be used when dividing the market cap to arrive at share price. And before I go into my next article, all right, so didn't they say that those shares will be locked in for 180 days? I just read that. Absolutely. Those shares will be locked up. So by your reveals, Stephen, you may be truthful, but what I'm trying to give a breakdown is to the community, even if Stephen is truthful that Peter Wing is a scam artist, he cannot touch his shares for 180 days, right? So that's 6 months. They cannot touch those shares once the audit kicks in. So the merger is in place. They are disputing, they're sharing out, they're giving out shares now to that community. All of this stuff has to happen before the audit is in place. So you giving everybody their shares, and now after the merger, you have 2 days after the merger, right when the market is open. Of course, the market is closed Saturday and Sunday. The market opens on Monday. So we could be seeing the audit on Monday, or we could be seeing the audit on Tuesday. Not a single person like Peter Wayne can just come up and do a whole rug pull on a potential merger like this. So when you look at everything, right? And I know I have shared this before, but when you give a breakdown, and this goes back to the numbers that I just read off, these are similar numbers, very similar numbers that I just read off. When you look at the numbers, you are talking about when Rivian had a market cap of 102 billion, 190 million, the outstanding shares was 883,400. I mean, 883,400,000. That actual price was $116. When Lucid, if you look at their market cap, right? You go over to Lucid right now. Lucid right now has a market cap. Let's go to it and look at it right here. So it's backing up what I'm telling you. Lucid has a market cap right now is even higher. Well, it's 62.64 billion. So my chart is accurate, right? And they trading at $38 a share right now. So right here, 62 billion market cap, which I just showed you. They got an outstanding shares of 1,650,000,000. The current price is $38. We just looked at that. Tesla. Let's look at Tesla. So you can see that my chart is correct. Let's look at Tesla. All right. So right here, my chart is correct. Tesla right now is at 1,056. That's what it is. The high is 1,243. The market cap is 1.06 trillion. Let's go back to my chart. I'm a little less right here, but Tesla, if you're saying the market cap at 1,600,000,000,000, the outstanding shares just say 1 billion. The circulated price is 1,020. Now let's get down to the meat and potatoes of this chart because it's very similar to the numbers that I just showed. If the auditor give Cenntro a market cap of $10 billion, we are looking at a calculated price of $40 a share. At $15 is 60.81 cents a share. 20 billion, which I think this is going to be a fair number, is going to be 81.08 cents a share. 25 billion, 101, 30, 121, 35, 141, 40, 162, 50, 202. 150 billion is 608 million. So let's see if we got any comments. All right, you're correct about the shares. I've shared my own opinions with you before. You produce good content. I've learned a bit since then. Right, that's all I'm saying. I don't plan on not taking a percentage. I hope everybody on this, I hope everybody here, once this thing start moving, especially for the person that oh yeah, absolutely. We'll talk off air. As a matter of fact, Stephen, if you want to one day go live with me, I could drop the link and you could come in and share your opinion because I don't want this to be a one-sided opinion situation. If you want to, or I can definitely open up the platform to, well, one day you and I can definitely come on and we can speak about this live. I can just drop the link and we can go from there. So so right here, so with the shares being included, won't the new market cap be 1.2 billion? No, the 1.2 billion would be too small for EV company. The least market cap it would be, Lawrence, it has to be a minimum of 10 billion. You talking about a company that has cars in 32 countries, that has, and I just showed you the fleet. 1.2 billion. We're not talking about a clothing company. We're talking about a vehicle company. And no, these are not luxury vehicles, these are utility vehicles. But another thing you got to look at, all of the pre-orders that they have. When Lucid and Churchill Capital did their reverse merger, the reverse merger, even with Rivian, is not based off the cars that they are selling. Is based off the cars that they have that's pre-ordered and the potential of the facilities. So they looked at Lucid facility, making sure it was up and operational. They looked at Lucid. I'm talking about when they approved their reverse split, they SPAC. They looked at the pre-orders, and that's when they approve it. Now, Lordstown Motors, then you're looking at the reason why they got their shirt tail pull is because their CEO came and overspoke and did not deliver. And that's why Lordstown is dealing with a significant loss as we speak. So yes, we're right now, once NASDAQ approved the merger, now we are waiting on the auditor. And it just backs up some of the stuff I said. The naked shareholders will hold 30% ownership of Cenntro'S for a total investment of $282 million. $282 is a lot of money, but it's a good deal for the naked company for many reasons. Now let's break down some of those reasons. For 30% of $18 billion, this is just an example. This is an example, and I'm not saying that that's what the auditor is saying. I'm just giving an example. That is approximately $5.4 billion. Now let's do some math. If we divide this 5.4 billion value with Naked's current market cap of $320 million, the Naked shareholders will get 15.8 times the current price of $5 value per share, which equals to $80 a share. That's just an example, like I'm saying. And the organic growth of $80 should take the fact that we didn't have any short squeezes. So, like I'm saying, these are just examples that I'm trying to share about what's going on. The PR, let's just get there. Let's get back on that. The PR with this merger sucks. Like when Lawrence came on originally, we are actually finding information about this deal. Kramer, MSNBC, Fox Biz, none of the talking heads have talked about this merger at all. On Twitter, no one is talking about this this merger at all. Why? The PR has been so silent for something with a potential merger of 10 billion or more. Like I said, even at 10 billion, this stock gets up to $40 a share. Like Lawrence say, Twitter, Reddit, everywhere. The PR has been silent. No one is talking about it. I can get on here and pound the drum and make it sound as great as I can, but it comes down to a couple of things. It's only so much we can do, and then people are going to be like, what's wrong with the deal? Did they pull the deal back? Is the deal being renegotiated? Is the deal stuck? Did the auditor find something with the deal? Now, people, when you invest all of this money, we start to guess. True, that's why parameters are in place. Some of those parameters are 70% of Cenntro'S, the private Cenntro stock will be locked up. So they cannot fluctuate or manipulate the stock. That's one reason why they lock it up. So it's no stock manipulation. That's one reason why NASDAQ has been so quiet. Nobody from NASDAQ, other than the approval of the merger, have said anything, because what they're doing is they're sitting back and making sure things are intact, because there's been so many EV companies, just like I'm talking about Lucid Air. Lucid Air, the reason why their stock is down right now is because the SEC has gotten involved. And that's because Peter Rollison has gotten into things and he hasn't been originally haven't been truthful. So now you look at things from example with when you say Lucid, then Lordstown Motors, and then Faraday Future. All of these companies have double talk. They said one thing: delivery is going to be out. None of these cars have been delivered. One thing we can't say without a hitch that Cenntro has delivered. They got the second mount of ECVs on the road outside of Tesla in this sector. So that's a great thing. But what we're waiting on now is we're waiting on the audit. And the parameter that's in place is they have up until 2 days after the merger has been approved. The merger has been approved. Just let's say Friday it was initially approved. Now they have until Tuesday to give the stockholders the 30%. They got into where did I get my actually I did get some of my statistics. Yes, they are second. I got a lot of my statistics off StockTwit and Reddit. A lot of the stuff I read, those are where I got my examples from. And I fact checked it before I did that, and it actually those numbers worked out. All right, let me see. Lockup is correct. Retail may also be weary of some of the EV companies who have scammed investors. Absolutely. Look at Nikola. They rode their truck down a hill as it was really running. Like it was really running. You're right, Stephen. one of the first EV companies that deceived the people was not even Nikola. It was actually Faraday Future. Remember the story with Faraday Future where the gentleman had $6 billion, and then when he had $6 billion, he actually crashed. He basically crashed the stock. It was Faraday Future who did a lot of this. The guy was so dirty, and the crazy part is his wife and I believe brother-in-law was held in China, locked up, where they couldn't return back to the US. They did PR stunts where they did simulations of the Faraday Future car at the time, and the car they never put the car on the road. So skepticism kicked in, and they asked the people. They said, "So when are we going to see a car? When are we going to test drive a car?" That's why so many people thought that Lucid was a scam, because Lucid was supposed to have cars on the road in 2020. And the cars never got on the road until 2021. Another part of the deal between Lucid is they said when Peter Rollison said that they were going to have 6,000 cars on the road in 2021. That's why when the shares first came out, it went up to $68 a share. When you look at these, the history of some of this line, Lordstown Motors did the same thing. Lordstown Motors said that they were going to have cars on the road 2021. They're not going to have cars on the road until the third quarter of 2022. Then they had to get a loan, a massive loan from Foxconn. So a lot of these things have happened in the EV space. One thing we can say, even if Peter Rollison is, I mean, not Peter Rollison, wrong company. Peter Wang is a scam artist. There are parameters that was put in place to defeat that. So our 30%, we can wait to the auditors. And if you want to say, I want to take my money out, Stephen, take that money out because you made your investment and you made your money. I'm doing a video on this because there are no PR. I do have a substantial amount of money invested, and I definitely want this stock to do good. But when you look and see Kramer, you don't see ARK Financial. You don't see anybody talking about this deal. It's a head scratcher while 115,000 people are in stock twits talking about this deal, whether you a bull or a bear. But at the end of the day, nobody else is talking about the deal, and it makes me weary. It makes us start to think. It makes us say, let's look at the practices of Peter Wang. Is he doing good practices? One thing I can say is he have delivered vehicles, and that's a good thing. So I just want to, in this video, talk about a lot of the potential of what the deal may be. Also, and I wanted to talk about what potentially we may be able to do when it comes down to this stock itself. So my question is, are there any questions? Because I'm gonna keep talking about this stock until we get some answers. And then after we get answers, then I want to talk about this stock some more. So right now, Stephen said, and I understand, 2,134 shares. How many shares do you have, Lawrence? That's a lot of money. That's 2,134 shares times 5. That's over $10,000. It makes you say, hey, I may have to sell this thing before I get a rug pull. Because in the crypto space, there are always rug pulls. Yes, Monday will be very interesting. We'll get a better understanding. All right, Lawrence got 600 shares. 600 shares. That's over $3,000. So a lot of people are sitting back and saying, I got all these shares. I know people with 15,000 shares. I know people with 8,000 shares, 10,000 shares. That's a lot of money. Those are multi-thousands. Okay, so all right, so that's a good question. Oh, okay, so the ticker is going to remain naked. The ticker is going to remain naked. The name of the company is going to change to Cenntro, but the naked symbol will change, would not change. So I think the reason why they're not changing the ticker is because more people are familiar with naked because they've been in business for so long. So it's easy for them to remember that ticker for now. But they never said it was going to be permanent. They just said it's not going to change for now. So it's a change that the ticker changes in the future. So oh, for me, I only have right now 215 shares. That's what I have for now. I have 215 shares. Because I have so many shares of other companies, but I have 215 shares, and that's still $1,600 right there, which is not chump change. So of course we are looking at what's going on, and when would it start? When would it start moving? You know, because we're waiting for this stock to definitely move. So if there are any more questions, I definitely will be here to answer more questions. If not, then we're gonna end this because this has been a great video, in my opinion. MHM, what does that mean? A ticker change will benefit all investors. Well, it seems like it will benefit all investors, but I don't know why they didn't change the ticker, right? Because if you looked at my videos too last week, I read in a lot of places like Reddit and in StockTwits and different places that the ticker was going to change to CENN. And then when I oh yeah, soundbite. So when I went and I looked at it even more, I was like, okay, I understand now that the ticker actually is not going to change the CENN. They're keeping it. It says for now. It reads for now is going to say naked. And the only reason why I think that is so people are more familiar with the ticker naked than they are with CENN. That's the only thing I can think of. But everybody in their portfolio soon will it is going to be sin. It should have been done now. Okay, so it's only going to be CEN. Okay, so I stand corrected. I thought it was going to be CENN. That's what I read previously. But if it's only going to be CEN, that's fine. But I don't know. The PR surrounding this whole merger has been one of the worst PR stunts I have seen in my life. I have seen 2 Twitter pages with no information. I haven't seen Kramer. I haven't seen Art Financial. I haven't seen Peter Wang do an interview. One thing I can say about Peter Rollison with Lucid, he went on a campaign spree. He went on CNN. He went on Kramer. He went on all of these places, and he talked to different people about the merger. He made it look natural. He made it look precise. This has been terrible. Yes, naked has a bad reputation. Let's get away from it. You're absolutely right. The only PR I see is that it's a Chinese company. I don't care if it's Chinese, as long as you bring me some money, right? So even if you're looking at $80 a share or $100 a share, like if you put 2 zeros, you were looking at close to $60,000. So I don't care if it's Chinese or whatever it is. I just want it to be profitable, and I want it to be like people think naked is a joke. Retail will be a name and a cusp change. Like I said again, I agree, and I don't understand why they never agreed to make the change. They agreed to everything else. Like on Monday or Tuesday, you're going to see the name of the company is going to change from where it's at. So, like right here, the name of the company still says, let's look at that briefly. Let's see. All right, let's see. All right, I'm gonna share my screen one more time. All right, so right now you still see the name of the company is Naked Brand Group is a limited intimate apparel and swimwear company. This information should change on Monday or Tuesday. The symbol, like Lawrence keeps saying, that this symbol naked should change. because it's a bad connotation around the name. Some people are probably looking at it like, I don't want no parts of that company. And I definitely understand that. But this information is going to change. This part is going to say Cenntro Automotive Group, but this part will remain naked for now. And that's what if people didn't know what we were talking about, that's what we was talking about. That information will change, but the other information won't. All right. Meanwhile, the shorts are going to keep pushing it down until then. No PR is irresponsible. Again, just my opinion. It's not just your opinion. That's why we're in agreement. We in lockstep, Lawrence. It's terrible. Okay, so hold up. Let me get to that. Yeah, I wonder how many different platforms it would change on. No, they have to. Okay, so when NASDAQ step in, it should change on all platforms. Like I said, the ticker would change, would stay the same. Yeah, you're right. Trust me, I've been saying this morning. All right, let's see what Michael is saying. Why so much negativity? I've been holding naked since last January and I kept buying. Bought the dip at $5.08. I'm very bullish. No, you coming in on the tail end. I am not uh I'm not bearish on this deal at all. The point that I'm talking about right now, Michael, is we bullish, but when I'm giving examples of other companies when they came into the deal, they came into this deal, and what they came into the deal pushing it. And that's why so many of us put a lot of money into this. Now, when you got people with 10,000 and 20,000 shares, all you get is an article. It says that it's approved. I am very bullish, but I'm not naive, knowing that it could be more done. Peter Wayne has never said a thing about this stock on Twitter or anything. Like Lawrence says, I'm not naked. Lawrence got over 600 shares. Mr. Kane Blitz, how you doing? Love what I'm seeing. Absolutely. I have faith as well as Michael. I definitely have faith. That's why I'm making this video. I'm not negative about this, but we can't be so blinded about things, because yes, you are not the only one that bought on the dip. We all bought on the dip, but we want to understand why the PR is so bad. Right? That's all we saying. The PR will pump this by itself, but you don't see none of the big talking heads even talking about this merger, and that comes down to the PR between the companies. And part of the reason is what Steven said. Steven said the name Naked has such a negative connotation that a lot of people won't touch it until the name change. Most platforms are still showing only naked market cap. Hopefully next week things hopefully will change and that the price increase. I'm still hopeful for all of us. Right. Okay, so hold up. It won't change until the auditor comes in and gives an approval of the change. The auditor got to give the value of the complete merger. And then once we get the value of the complete merger, then it will go into effect. Nothing happens until the auditor says this is the value. Yes, I agree. Cenntro does not even have a Wikipedia page. I mailed marketing about it. Absolutely. That's all we talk about, Michael. We are not talking about we are bearish on this deal. Most people on this call are concerned. Most people have thousands wrapped up in this stock. I got a circle of friends with some with 10,000, some with some of them got bigger investments right now than I have in this, because I got other money in other places. That but what we are talking about is they should have been better with PR on this. And because you're not better, when you look at Lucid, and I know I'm being redundant, but Peter Wayne should have followed Peter Rollison Elon Musk footsteps. News is news. We would appreciate the news. I only got one article. I only received one article from Yahoo about this merger, and then NASDAQ had a mini 2-sentence paragraph saying that the deal was approved. We are definitely very bullish on this deal, but when you got bad PR, it makes people think what's going on, why the stock is dipping. The stock was going rapid on Thursday, and then on Friday, it became the dip of the season. I don't understand. The big question is why the stock increased so much after the merger news a few months ago, a lot higher than the actual price after merger. Perhaps it was the reverse split that caused the dip. No, I don't think it was the reverse split that caused this dip. I think that it was the reverse split is what it is, right? But when you do the reverse split, when CCIV, and I'm using them from a reference over and over, they went on a campaign trail and they drove this stock from $19. When I got in Lucid, it was $19 and something a share. They was being sued from big investors. Peter Wallison single-handedly spent a lot of money on the Lucid merger. He did he sat down with CNN. I could pull this up. He had other people come. He had Motor Trend come, and they received rewards because people drove the car. And when they did all of this, it made a difference. It changed the opinion. They did all of this. Even the ticker changed from CCIV to LCID. That mattered. When you have a terrible PR and you don't invest in social media marketing, it kills people. It drives people hype. You kill the hype. If you're going to stop Twitch right now, the hype is terrible. I have friends with hundreds of thousands invested. They deserve all as well due. Information from the company, since it's the shareholders who made the deal happen. You're a doggone right, Stephen. When this deal came through, because I had shares, when it came through for me to vote, I voted immediately. I didn't vote the next day. I voted time it hit my computer. I voted time it hit my computer. Yes, I'm heavily invested as well with $10,000. Right. I have friends with 10,000. I have friends with 60,000. I have friends with 50,000, 70,000. People deserve better than just guessing. When would the auditor? We could have received even information. Get ready, guys. The auditor will have the report by Monday or Tuesday. No, I don't think NASDAQ is going to approve a scam. And that's the same thing that I said the same thing about when Stephen suggested that. But if it's a scam, why did they want to go public, and why did Cenntro want the naked army? I don't think it's a scam at all. And the reason why I don't think that is a scam is because 70% of Cenntro'S stock will be locked up for 180 days. Only the 30% of the stock that will be movable are the people who invested now. The Cenntro private stock is locked up for 180 days. All we waiting on now is the auditor. Do you think that the auditor will have the valuation that soon? Well, okay, so after the merger go through, the auditor have 2 days after the merger to give a audit report. This is not some backroom deal. You have to go through chain of commands. So first time what we had when they said about the merger, it was like this. They had to vote on it. Once they voted on it, we all voted. Then they said that the merger was approved by 96%. Next, the next thing that happened after the merger was approved by 96%, then the merger was approved after the 5-day the $5 a day average of 5 days. All right, so here we go. I just did some research. Peter Wayne, that's all. It seems that he has a very checkered past. I'm still holding because Peter Wayne us beholden to the SEC. Okay, so that one kind of clear. If you can retype some of that, Stephen, I can reread that. But one thing we can't say about this deal, Lordstown, Lucid, who else had a Nicola? All of those deals were flagged by the SEC. When you look at Rivian, you look at this Cenntro deal, These deals so far has not been flagged. So it's a little tad bit different on that front. It's a little bit different on that front. So if the SEC come out and flag it next week, then it's going to be a problem. Okay, you saying he can't scam because the SEC. You right. That show Billions really proves that they really sit back and monitor these deals. NASDAQ didn't say a mumbling word until the deal of the 5-day of $5 average was approved, and then NASDAQ came out and approved the deal. NASDAQ would not have approved this deal if they didn't see that it was a valid merger. Now we're waiting on the auditor, because once the auditor is an independent source that will give the audit report on this deal. That's what we're waiting on. All right. But the SEC is not always very quick to respond. Right. But the SEC sometimes don't respond until people come and sue. So the SEC is not just going to come and do it on their own. Normally, they're going to be an individual who felt like they invested $200,000 or more, because that's when they really respond, when they look at the magnitude of your investment. A person like me who haven't invested $200,000 or more, I'm probably not going to get their attention to people who invested that quick. All right, right here. But we have bullish things going on with the Jacksonville plant and etc. And to do seem like this company is growing. All right. What about the infrastructure deal in the U.S.? Cenntro could be providing a lot of vehicles to the government. No. Okay. So what I'm telling you, Michael, is everybody that's giving the what ifs are bullish on this deal. We are just left to the imagination to think what's going on. The Jacksport deal is amazing. They're going to start be up and running in the first quarter. I think between the end of this month or the middle of next month, they're going to be up and running at the Jacksport. That's amazing. We're not against this deal. The only thing we're talking about in this deal is why is the deal doesn't have good PR. You could have put out a tweet, but the tweets are blank on all platforms. They could have put out a joint article. They didn't do that. They could have said the auditor is coming out with a deal. They didn't do that. What's going on, Michael, is what I'm saying is the stock was more valuable before the merger than it is now. Before the merger, it at least got up to 55 cents. Then it was at 48 cents. This deal, as of today, is probably 34 to 38 cents. What we want to know is, once the merger was completed, the PR should have kicked in, but why is the deal seem like it's tanking? So what people are speculating is, are they renegotiating? Are they doing any other backroom deals? Is anything going on? No, that's not what we are talking about. We are bullish, but you are giving our minds too much to think about. People are wondering. People thought they was going to wake up and saw their portfolio skyrocket. Not only did it seem like the pool had pee in it, it seemed like they got to drain the pool and start over. It's just too much to think about. And if and when the infrastructure deal passes, it will benefit Cenntro, but it has not passed yet. Right. Yeah, Congress did a terrible idea. Congress was terrible. You know what I'm saying? That deal from the West Virginia Senator Munchin, who killed that deal for the time being, was terrible because he's talking about inflation. Well, we're dealing with inflation in the market right now. We are dealing with inflation in the market now, and that's terrible. All right, you're completely right. The marketing team needs some serious help. The Facebook page has not been updated in 2 years. They're only active on Twitter. Right. So people when they saw a good deal, we all jumped on it. People don't understand how valuable social media marketing is. It's very valuable. One tweet, one Facebook post, one Instagram post would have drove this deal, wouldn't have been at $5.35 right now. It would have been so much better. So if you have that information, where I think Steven or Michael said they emailed the marketing team. If you could put that in the chat, the email that you use to email the marketing team, I think everybody on this chat or everybody who watched this video after this need to be emailing the marketing team from Cenntro or Naked, telling them how terrible things are at this point. The things should have been updated. We are waiting on, so you waiting on, this is not $100 million deal. This is potentially a $10 billion to a $20 billion deal. That's what we're waiting on. All right, so right here, I recommend we mail the marketing team. Absolutely. If you have the emails, it's on their website. If anybody can drop that in this chat, if you can just drop that email in this chat, I think all of us today should be emailing them and tell them how terrible the PR has been and how terrible the marketing schemes have been. And we all can do that collectively. If not, then we can go over to the website and email them right now, because this has to be better. Is this what we're going to experience once the auditor in place? Are we going to be in a place where we are not going to be knowing about changes with the company? Y'all was so forward when you wanted our vote. Everybody voted that was in the stock at a certain period of time. They already voted. But why you are not as forward after the merger is complete, giving us better insight? And that's the purpose of this video. We want better insight. All right. Email. Everybody, can you see this? Maureen McNary. We'll find it. We'll find this person and we're going to email this person. I think everybody, if you frustrated like we all are, and that's Michael, please understand, we are bullish. But what we're saying is, if the Facebook page ain't been updated, they are not tweeting on, they're only tweeting and not tweeting enough, then that becomes a problem. Because Lucid went on a campaign spree. And I guess because Peter Rollison worked for Elon Musk, he knew how to do some of this stuff. He went on a campaign spree. Their PR was astounding. Kramer, all of the big time YouTubers, everybody talked about Lucid, and that's how I found about Lucid, through some of the YouTubers that I follow. I did some research of the company. I looked at the PR. I said, this is a company I want to invest in. Today, this is not making everybody look good, and that's the point of this. So please understand, we are definitely bullish on this deal. We are not we're not against the deal. We just want them to do better. You don't have $1 billion and discredit social media because it's so important to this deal. All right, so please, everybody go out, email the Naked and the Cenntro PR team or whoever we have to, and we need to tell them how we are not happy about what we see or what we don't see. Right. And PR is huge. I wonder who sat at the boardroom and said, yeah, let the people just wonder and don't talk about it. If the PR was so good, I wouldn't be ranting and raving on this video. What I'll be doing is I'll be saying, I understand what's going on, and I'll be telling the community this is what's going on. But I can't do that on this video because we don't know what's going on. So I know we went round and round in circles. If we got any more questions or comments, please go and email Miss Maureen. We need to email her right away so we can let them know that they need to do better and they need to shake up. The Facebook page need to be updated. You need to tweet more. They don't know that means a whole lot. So if there's no more questions or comments, this is Antonio with Team Tiggio. Please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video. Let's get this video throughout the YouTube universe, because this video need to be seen about, to several people so they can express their their love for the stock, but for the dislike of the PR. So we all can get that out there. So once we understand about this merger, or once I get more information, I definitely will be back speaking about this hopefully Monday. But if not Monday, I will be speaking about this on Tuesday. So thank you for everybody who tuned in onto this podcast. And this is Antonio with Team Tiggio. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you next time.